What's up, guys? So, today's topic is Consul, and we are just going to see what is Consul and why is it so famous in the market, and we are going to explore it. So, yeah, let's start it. The agenda over here is simple. We are going to introduce it, we are going to study its architecture, algorithm, some comparisons, and some other stuff. Yeah. So just for the introduction part, Consul is a tool for discovering and configuring a variety of different services in your infrastructure. Which, in simple words, I can say that if you have like 3 servers up and running on AWS or any other cloud platform, you can use Consul for the discovery of those services and your servers, and configuring it as well using this. So it is really important that Consul is used with precisely microservices environment. Not that this is somewhat necessary, but it is somewhat designed to be made for, like, it is designed for that purpose. So yeah, it is built on Golang. It has 3 basic ports: 8400 for RPC, the remote procedure call one, the HTTP one, that is on 8500, 8600 is the DNS one. So yeah, that is pretty much how and what is about Consul. For the features part, it is a major service discovery tool, which means that using the DNS or the HTTP port, it can easily find applications and your services that you're running. As compared to the health check status, this is basically a feature which helps you check whether your server is up and running and how healthy it is. The key value store is basically used for different features, for different other features of Consul, such as leader election, the feature flagging, dynamic configuration, coordination, etc. The multi-data center deployment, this one is interesting. So what happens is that there are some companies, or there are some services that you want to run on different regions on one cloud provider. So basically what you want is to have a multi-data center deployment tool, so that you don't have to configure everything again and again on different regions. So it is a beneficial option for anyone looking for some multi-data services usage. The web UI is there, which means you don't have to run the CLI commands again and again to configure it or to update it. You can use the web UI part for managing and accessing different services. Now this is how the Consul architecture looks like. So here above we have an internet layer over here on the top. The gossip protocol is over here, the TCP protocol over here. So first let me cover a little bit on gossip protocol. It is a little bit different protocol than the TCP UDP ones, and by that what I mean is it is made in place or designed for massive distributed systems. So a lot of the tools that you could see or would see on HashiCorp would be based on gossip protocol. We will be seeing a short sample on the gossip protocol over here on the on Consul, and yeah, one important thing, this gossip protocol has been implemented into a tool called as Surf, which I can share later the website. So the surf.io or the Surf tool is basically the implementation of by HashiCorp on gossip protocol. Now as you can see, you have 3 different servers one is a leader, the other two are followers. So the leader can replicate the followers as many as possible, and the followers can automatically interact with the clients using the RPC protocol, and the clients can interact with each other using the gossip protocol. So this is how Consul works. And so yeah, let's move on. Now this is the Raft algorithm. Basically, between the three servers, it is very important, or it is basically the measurement of how a leader is elected. So it is done by a simple voting system which enables the servers to vote for one leader amongst different servers. Like in this example, I've taken 3 different servers, right? 1, 2 and 3. The election will start with the follower, with the server 1 over here, and the second server will conduct the election. As the number of higher votes lead to the server 3, the server 3 will be declared as a leader. And similarly, if just suppose that the leader dies, then what will happen is this candidate has the responsibility to reconducting the election in a certain timeout, so that another leader could be placed in charge in case the leader dies. So yeah, that is how the Raft algorithm works. You can see a little bit more documentation on HashiCorp's website regarding the Raft algorithm. I think it has been used by etcd as well, by the CoreOS guys, which is a similar tool to Consul. And yeah, that's it. So a short comparison between the etcd, Zookeeper and Consul is that Consul has a great UI which is not present there in etcd or Zookeeper. RPC is available on Consul as well as etcd. Zookeeper, I believe, is much older than etcd and Consul, and it is based on Java again, and this is on Golang and Go, etcd and Consul. So it has different features, it has different properties that make each of them great. So yeah, let's just move on. The setup that I have done for today is quite simple. I have downloaded the Consul file, which you can use this link to download and extract the binary package, install it in your local path. So yeah, that is what I have done today. So let me show you a quick look of Consul. So as you can see, the Consul agent has started. One thing to note for the production guys is that you don't have to use the -d flag when you're running this command in production, because the -d flag is just for the development use. So the data directory is mentioned over here, that is under my temporary folders. It has started the Consul agent, it has started the RPC protocol, and here is the version, the data center, the server, the client address, cluster address. You can see it all. Right now it's not encrypted, as you can see, but let's just look at the log data for a little bit. So what is happening over here is that this whole part is basically doing an election. So these are the logs for the election, right? It has initiated, it has added the LAN server, the node is there, and now as you can see with this line, that from a follower it is becoming a leader. Why this is happening is because I don't have a multi-node setup over here running, so I can show you it with a single node that is on my local machine. So again, it has started. There are various health checks which have been done, and yeah, we can see that vote has been granted from the tally. So yeah, let's just move on. Now this is another topic or another tool which is quite handy if you use Consul very much heavily. This is the Consul-Template tool. It is basically a daemon that helps you query the Consul instance, and you can use this to update any number of specified templates on the file system. So this is pretty much handy when you are running Consul on a multi-node deployment or a multi-cluster deployment on different data centers. And normally it happens that Consul is not that active, or I might say it is not that I think I can say it is lagging a little bit, so you can use this template for defining all your commands. You don't have to just type in one after another again and again. So you can use this tool. It is pretty much available. So you can download it and put it in your path over here. The Consul UI one. So it is basically divided into three parts: ACL, which is a set of rules to help you lock your clusters; the data centers, which help you to manage all your data center stuff; the nodes section, which is like you can see your nodes which are running up and again, and their health status. So what I've done is I've shown the steps how the Consul UI can be created from scratch. So yeah, let me just show you the UI. So this is the UI for Consul. It is pretty neat and good looking. So as you can see, I have a service called as Consul over here, which is running on my local machine, and this is the health status, right? So it is alive and reachable, as you can see. The nodes are here. Yeah, this is the node one. So you can choose your data centers from here if you have a multi data center region. You have your key values over here. You can create your key values. You have your ACLs. For right now it's disabled, but you can obviously enable this. And yeah, that is pretty much it. The settings is there for making sure that you have proper authority on your Consul web UI. So this is pretty much the UI for Consul. So I'm going to stop this right now. Now I've just written the steps of how to use Consul. So I'm just going to show you a few more options that you can play with. So here I have started the Consul again, and I'm going to create another terminal to show you how you can see what is happening on Consul. So as you can see right now, because there is one node only, it is showing the members that are in cluster. So this is the console members command, which you can use. In case you want to obtain some information, you can use this simple info command for adding or updating some new information that you like. Yeah, so there are lot of commands that you can walk through. Like these commands are here, where you can monitor it, you can lock it, you can leave it, you can join it, and then pretty much a lot of stuff, I guess. So yeah, feel free to use more of these commands. I'm going to show you a couple more in the forthcoming slides, but right now for this part I think we have done. So let's just see. Yeah, so one pretty important thing is, if you want to add more nodes, you can use this console join command and specify the IP of node 1 and node 2 over here, but ensure that you have proper connection between all the three nodes, so that this command could be executed without any delay. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Using Docker also we can run console. So with Docker, what happens is you have a container running, and this container is basically running the whole console server part. So I'm just going to show you how it is happening and what it is that it requires. So I'm just going to share with you some images that are a little bit outside right now, but you can obviously look it up. This is one console-alerts image or Docker repository, which you can find out on the internet. So what this does is that it will help you obtain a notification whenever a node dies or your console cluster fails in any circumstance. So this is pretty nice tool provided by this user self. This guy known as Program, he has created this amazing console Docker image, which is quite popular. So you can definitely use this, and I'm going to show you a demo of what it does. Another thing is that what happens is, when you start using console on Docker, whatever services that you wish to enable or add to console that are running in Docker containers is little bit hard to do, right? So you have something called as a registrator, which you can use to enable that addition of new services to the main console server that is running on Docker. So you have all your services up and running on microservices, as I would say, and yeah, it helps you orchestrate things a little bit more easier. So I'm just going to show you a quick demo of using this image. So one second. So yeah, our container is up and running, as you can see. Right now the warning says that the bootstrap mode is enabled, so that is fine, there is no problem with that. Our election tally, as you can see, it has won again. This I think is the IP of your Docker container. I may be wrong about it, but let's see, we will have to check it out. So yeah, as you can see, using this image, basically you have started your own console server. Here what I have done is I have mentioned the ports, the three ports 8400, 8500 and 8600. I have used the -bootstrap flag to make sure that it could add any more nodes if it seems possible to add. So yeah, like this is how you can use Consul on Docker. Yeah. Again, you can also run a UI just by adding these new flags that are here. So it is pretty much handy if you are looking to start a UI on your Docker container or with your Docker container. Now this is nice. There is a command called as dig, which you can use to basically help you find out more on the IP address and the service that you are running. So I'm just going to show you over here. Right now, okay, I have to first start the console agent, and so as you can see, it tells my operating system, as well the header, the status, and some warnings as well, which is basically what I need for any service to show me, right? So this helps you save a little bit of time while dealing with things, and yeah, it is a good usage. It is a good command. So these are again two more two more commands that you can use. You can obviously monitor it and you can obviously watch it. So I'm just going to show you the watch command. The monitor is pretty much easy, I guess. So let's just see this one. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, I have just ran the command where I have specified the hyphen type service, the service itself, and it shows me in a very simplified way what is happening over here. It has showed me that my node is this, the tagged address of LAN and WAN is this, the service is Consul, and it is running on 8300. The health check is over here with the health status as passing, which is a good thing. So yeah, you can also use the console monitor for just keeping a log of stuff like, okay, what is happening with the console, inside the console. So this is a good way to check it out. Now this is another and interesting stuff. Just assume that you want like Amazon.com as a service and you want to register it on console, right? You want some service that you like to register it on with console. So you can use this command to do that. It is a little bit complicated because of all the flags and everything, but I think it is fine once you get the hang of it. So yeah, let's try this one out, if it's possible to run. Seems it is having some URL problem. Okay, I think I'm just going to pause this video and fix it so that there won't be a problem. So yeah, sorry about that, but it's a little bit complicated to put it all in one place. So yeah, as you can see, I have tried to register my a node basically on AWS, a service basically, I'm sorry, named as Amazon, and basically what I'm trying to register is this service, right? So let's check it out, if whether we are successful in it or not. So so as you can see, there is something called a shop which is there, and here you have the Amazon.com up and running as a service, right, as a node, and the service I think is called as shop, right? So yeah, that's how you can go ahead and register a service. A node, for example, over here is set, but obviously it won't be detecting anything. But yeah, that is how you can register for a service. Similarly, you can remove this service using this command, and yeah. So let's just check this URL out. So it is showing something like it has failed, but no worries. I think this URL should be able to serve your service on some other machine. So yeah, let's move ahead. A little bit on bootstrapping and DNS. Bootstrapping is something that was in the starting done manually with Consul. Basically, you had to run a command with Consul join, and you have to specify the node B address or the node C address, and again you have to specify the IPs over here. But with time, I think that automatic bootstrapping is now added, so it automatically configures and detects and joins the nodes that are there. So this is pretty much a little bit on information on how bootstrapping can be performed with Consul. On DNS, basically DNS is served from port 53. So in one small example, as I show you the dig one, this has been possible because of this installation of DNS mask that I had done in pre-installed on my machine, that I had done some installations. Without this cannot be possible. This dig command won't show you. This command just won't run, right? So it is just a replica of what I had done before. I can show you. So yeah, as you can see, it just shows the same output as before. Yeah, so one more thing, the Consul DNS interface is making the port information available through SRV records. Now what is meant by that is that the SRV records, as you might know, that the DNS namespace record is basically what SRV records denotes to be, and it helps you to identify your computer service. That's what it helps DNS with, right? So that this is how Consul is using its DNS interface. Again, the DNS forwarding can be done using bind, DNS mask, and the IP tables. So this part is a little bit I can say advanced, so we will be covering it sometime other, but right now this is pretty much what the DNS is. Now a little bit on testing part. So it is quite easy to say that console is up and running and everything seems just fine, but the real question is, after putting up everything in its place, can we test it out? Can we fail down a server on purpose and check if everything goes well? So this can be done using the Jespin testing tool. Basically, it's a tool written in Clojure. What it does, it basically brings down your whole I can say server or your whole cluster, and it requires console or the tool again to rebuild itself or to maintain the uptime of the service. But for the demo purpose, I won't be able to show you because it requires a little bit huge level of cluster formation again, so it is a little bit out of scope for this particular demo. But yeah, you can test the partial tolerance and networking part of the system, of any system. Another thing which I forgot to tell you was about the cap theorem. So the Raft algorithm, which I had discussed earlier, is based on something called as cap theorem, which denotes for consistency, availability, and partial tolerance. What it means is that you can only, in any system across the world, or in any system that you build for your company, it can have either of the three options. So either it will go for the consistency and the availability part, or either it will go for the availability and partial tolerance part, or the consistency and the partial tolerance part. You cannot have a system where all these three are all together. So it is up to you which type of system do you want to proceed with. So that is one more thing. For running console on AWS, you can always use this template that they have worked out, the AWS guys and HashiCorp guys, and you can just quick start using console with it. You don't have to set up from scratch and make sure that everything is up and running. You can use this, and the CloudFormation will take care of the rest and help you create with all of this stuff. What this template does is it creates a VPC with public and private subnets across 3 availability zones, 2 auto scaling groups. As you can see, you can choose between 3, 5 or 7 servers at a time, but by default it is obviously set to 3. DNS mask is installed and configured, which basically means that you can use dig a lot more with the service that you want. A console cluster is done or is made using the bootstrap _expect option, which means that you can already specify that, okay, console, I have a 5 node cluster which is going to be up and running, so console expects that to happen, that that the 5 nodes are made connected to it, yeah, that is pretty much on the template one. So again, yeah, thank you very much. I know it became a little bit dizzy in between. Apologies for that, but yeah, I hope you have a great time, and yeah, thank you. Cheerios.